Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Beautiful day down here in South Florida. And your Miami Heat, they're going to be right back in action tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. And I think it was Tyler Hero who probably said it best yesterday, which was, look, this was a nice moment beating the Orlando Magic. I think it was the best win of the season last night. It was a thrill to be boots on the ground for it. But I think Tyler speaks right. It was like, listen, we're going to lose. Otherwise, everyone's going to think it's the end of the world, which it will be.
I wouldn't go so far as to call this a breakthrough, but does it feel like something's starting to click into place here over these last few games?
I mean, we'll see. We have another one tomorrow, and if we lose, the whole organization and fans are going to think that this is the end of the world. So we're going to take it one day at a time, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Two things, all right? One, Bam always got a little bit of team petty when he takes on Greg Popovich, even though that is his gold medal coach. He never forgets the fact that you cut him from Miles Turner off the Olympic team. And I'm very curious to see this matchup with Bam. Now, remember the last time they took on Wembanyama, Duncan Robinson gave that dude the business. I mean, he cooked his ass. So that was a younger Wembanyama. We'll see what this brings to the table. But I wanted to get to something Erik Spoelstra said last night because, quite frankly, it was Goosey's galore. And I don't even quite know if I've wrapped my mind around what he said, but it was like, it really like sunk in. And I was like, wow, that's good. That's good. That's deep. And if you guys didn't hear it, this was a Spo basically talking about, he wanted this team. Remember a couple games ago, he was talking about doing tough things. And he just wants people to go out there, take charges, dive on the floor. And you've definitely seen that energy level pick up with Miami over these last handful of games. And the play has just been much better. I would say, honestly, the worst game they probably played was against the Wizards. And even though they won that game, that was pretty much a quarter just won. But thought the Clippers game they played well. Yesterday I thought was the most complete game they played all year. Of course, you have the nice win over the Sacramento Kings. So I'm happy to see this because it really did look like in that losing streak they couldn't stay on the floor with anybody. It was embarrassing. And you got a big matchup coming up against the Celtics. So hoping that the Heat take care of business tonight, but I'm still not at that point where I trust any win. I'm not at that point yet, but I'm hopeful that they can try and make this a business-like victory in their building. But Spo had this thing to say last night that I was like, whoa, that to me was deep, and here it was.
Erik, what's it say about? I mean, when things aren't going great for a team over a little bit of a stretch, that nobody took it upon themselves to do more than what was there. Like nobody took a ton of shots. Everything was within the framework of passes going, shots.
I've always felt this way. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of adversity in this league. I mean, success can be the worst teacher, and it can be the worst formula. Sometimes if you just get endless amount of success in a regular season and you're just not like really dealing with the truth. We've had to deal with the truth. We've had to deal with some very hard realities of why we haven't been able to win the way we want to. And as long as you approach it the right way and you rally around solutions, rally around each other, and get to work, you can actually have breakthroughs. And I'm not going that far right now to say we've had a breakthrough. We've still got a long way to go, but at least it's a start. These 4 games closer to our identity. Okay, thank you.
That's Goosey's right there, dude. I mean, look, Erik Spoelstra, to come into an organization and you have Pat Riley as your mentor, and you know that everybody wants to hear what Pat Riley has to say. This Spo's got some doozies. He's got some things to say, and that there's nothing wrong with a little bit of adversity, which, is akin to what we heard from the Dolphins coach all year. He would say adversity is an opportunity. That was the thing that he'd drown in, he'd bang into his player's head, and we'd hear it all year with adversity as an opportunity. But Spo, the idea that success is the worst teacher and, that you don't find a lot of truth in it. I was like, man, calling everybody regular season paper champs. That's something. Now, it has added to the fact that, Miami, it's interesting because these last 3 years, even the year they're the 1 seed, they were probably the most banged up that they were. Very, very strange season. And then still, you were able to get to the bitter end and almost to the NBA Finals. But these last couple of years, yeah, they have had to deal with some truths. And I think the Heat are in a lot of ways looking for their truth right now about, this core, what it can be. But it's the one thing that I've liked is that even though they were at a losing streak that they had not been at this side of 2008, there wasn't a lot of rats off a ship. There wasn't a lot of finger pointing. There was a lot of rallying around each other. And I don't know if that happens on a team where there's some more new faces and there is this idea that, I know people go with the idea of maybe they're sick of each other and the people, that was thrown around a lot, that the vibes I didn't feel like the vibes were awful around the Miami Heat. I just felt like there was a little bit too much of guys not being themselves. And to see them get back to Spoelstra as their identity, I hope that it does lead to a breakthrough. But I thought that was just such an interesting thing to put out there because, last night, just some of the plays that they were able to make on defense, turning defense into offense, which you need to do and get easy buckets in a league where scoring is up and you have tenacious defenders. That needs to be a thing. And the one thing that I've loved with adding Terry Rozier is I feel like it's really added, a big time fast break threat to them, playing faster. These are the things that I've looked at over how they've played. Yes, they've held teams and the defenses look great. Jimmy Butler's looked like more of himself, but just as a connectivity with everybody, we saw the game where they were making nearly a record amount of assists. They're so much more connected with one another. And even with Spo tinkering and making a different lineup change, because even you want to find it just right. And it was nothing against Haywood Highsmith, and I like Haywood Highsmith, and I think that you could throw him on ball on some of these defenders in the league. He's as talented as anybody. But you want to find that flow. You don't want to be held up by quite anything of just saying, could we tweak this? Could we get it a little bit better? Could we do a little bit more to be in that spot? So I hope it is a breakthrough. But that was, that was Goosey's right there, dude. I mean, his Spoisms, he's got some good ones. But, this one right here.
Success can be the worst teacher. And it can be the worst formula, sometimes if you just get endless amount of success in a regular season and you're just not really dealing with the truth. We've had to deal with the truth.
Them having to deal with the truth, that's good. That is, and that success is the worst teacher. It can lie to you. Oh, look, man, I'm tired of being lied to. Just keep telling me the truth, Miami Heat. That's what I want. I just want to keep hearing the truth and see what this Heat team has for each other and what they can bring with one another. But it was a great start last night against the Orlando Magic. I don't even want to say it's a great start. It's been, since the losing streak, you could tell it's been much better. But that felt, he doesn't want to call it a breakthrough, but it felt like what the best version of it can be. And even a Magic team that, again, they have not been what they were in the first half, but they were playing good. They have a lot of those elements of size that can give Miami issues sometimes. They were physical. They bothered their young stars. And even when they had a little bit of success, I love that Jimmy yesterday took it personally when Franz Wagner had a little bit going on him. Had to teach him something. So, yeah, you do hope this leads to something more for Miami. But don't lose tonight.